So we'll begin this journey with the design. And actually, if you look at this design and you see what we have eventually, you'll see that this did not stay the same. But you'll see the themes of this design carried through to the final product. I'm not real skilled with computers, so I do all of this by hand. But it's to scale. This would have fit in the store, although we changed things later. Of course, Jackie from the FOUNT team, she was integral to getting this designed. She knew what she wanted, and I would engineer it, so she would get what she wanted in the store. So here you see me begin to build the lower cabinets. We made it out of black melamine, so that way when the doors are opened, you don't see a huge distinction between the inside of the cabinets and the outside. Now we're cutting 1/2-inch backs for the lower cabinets. I have a panel saw, but it is a used panel saw. It's in quite a bit of disrepair, so I have to rebuild it before I can use it. So I've just been using a table saw and a track saw to do all of these cuts. Now we'll assemble the backs. The shop's not too big, so every time you see me take a cabinet off screen, it's going out to my van. Now we're getting into the oak. I didn't do the staining and finishing for this job. I took it to a fella in Canton to stain and finish it. But I did all the cutting and all the sanding for it. Now the sanding. Some people find this part tedious. I actually find it kind of relaxing. So it's nice to just be able to sand these and take them to the finisher. Let's just keep on sanding. It feels like there's no end to it sometimes, but it is very relaxing. I sanded these to 150 grit. The finisher and I discussed it, and he said I could sand it to whatever I wanted, and he would make it work. So I sanded it to 150. I don't believe he sanded it any more, except obviously in between coats of finish. It's a very dark stain, so I think it was good that we kept it at that lower grit. Now the install. So the melamine cabinets are sort of put in place, but nothing's installed yet. And I wanted to get these installed so that way the flooring guy could come in and do the floor while the finisher was finishing all the stiles and rails and plywood parts. Of course, in a retail location like this, we're mostly dealing with metal studs. I, of course, being more of a residential guy, I prefer the wood studs, but what are you going to do? So now here the lowers are installed. Looks like they're styled. I didn't take any video of that. And we are beginning to make the countertops for the various lower cabinets. The cabinets were so big, it was really the only way to do this easily is to take all the pieces parts to the finisher and then bring them all to the location and build them in place. So here you see me planning out some corner cabinets. And then beginning to build them. You'll see me later standing inside those cabinets. Those cabinets are 8 foot tall. It was very interesting tilting them up and not damaging anything. really all I need is what you see there. I got a chop saw, a table saw, a track saw, and of course various drills. As much as possible, I try to use the vacuum connected to not only the track saw, but the shop vac there was connected to the chop saw to keep the dust to a minimum, and it still was very dusty process, what I was doing. You could see I have the drop cloths down to try to collect as much of it as possible. Apparently I got into the rhythm of it because these are going up fast now. Alright, now we're going to begin styling the upper cabinets. We'll put those solid wood frames on. I do pocket screw them together, so I actually have a portable pocket hole machine that I brought with me. It makes things quicker on the field. And then they're just glued and nailed on. So now pretty much all of the stiles are up, and so we begin to put in the shelves. Now the shelves, a lot of times I make them adjustable in my cabinets, but for these cabinets in this retail location, the customer knew how high they wanted the shelves, so I was able to put them in using angle brackets rather than drilling a million shelf holes in each cabinet. This was an exciting day. The store is starting to come together, and they brought those leather panels for me to put onto the point of sale counter. Now we can put on some of the finishing touches. It's a two-piece crown using a larger piece of base molding flipped upside down and then a larger crown molding put on top of it. We also ended up putting some carvings and some rope molding on the cabinets, and you'll see that in the final pictures. I figured I should give you a view of what it was looking like in the hallway. So while I was working on Crown, I was able to set up in the exterior hallway and do all my work there. You see the blue tape because the stain was dark enough. I couldn't see any pencil marks. So I'd have to put a little piece of tape on and then make my mark and cut it from there. So here you can see the cabinet as it was on its opening day. It's actually still not quite done. There's just a couple of things left to do. But you see they are ready to open. And we've got the carvings and the rope moldings in there. One of the biggest things is we actually covered the door and painted the trim of the door so that way it would be disguised and kind of blend in with the rest of the cabinetry. Of course, you see the mirrors are hung now. I do not have video of installing that, but that was something that I provided. The lighting was done by the electricians that were hired to do the entire electrical portions of the job. Hello. And the point of sale counter was mostly existing. The piece on the far left there, we added that cabinet. But really we just covered over the melamine cabinets with our nice oak trim and our leather panels. Really brought that thing to life. And then this was a small window platform that we made so that we could stage things during different times of the year. And here's an overall shot of the entire store, and you can see the door in the back has been covered in the same stained wood to blend in. It was a privilege working with Fount on this project, and we look forward to opening more stores and doing more good carpentry of this nature. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.